Everyone, again for coming up on the call. We have our own superstar on the call again tonight in person of Xavier, which will be analyzing the market and showing us his bias on how the market is expected to react. We are super for always showing up, for always coming here to, educate people on how the foreign exchange market works. Guys, this person, we don't pay him, we don't recharge his phone. All he does is coming here, showing up because he wants everybody to win. All he wants is for, a lot of people to trade more, win in this market together. We're super excited for what you're doing, Xavier. We thank you, we celebrate you, we love you. Guys, if you're happy with what this guy is doing, all you need to show him is, support. Let's celebrate him, let's encourage him to do more. Because the more he comes on the call to educate us, the more we know how the foreign exchange market works. And you all agree with me that this market is a 7.3 trillion US dollar market. If you can hone your skill and master the skill, you all agree with me that you make money from this market. It's a life-changing opportunity that people pay thousands of dollars just to learn how to trade. But Xavier comes up every Sunday, to educate and train us on how to trade this market. Guys, let's celebrate him in the chat box. Let's drop in a 111 in the chat box to celebrate him for what he's doing, to encourage him. Whatever you celebrate, you attract. The more we celebrate him, the more he comes up to educate us on how the foreign exchange market works. Guys, please, let's drop in the chat box a 111. Thank you, IJ. Keep coming. You guys should drop in the chat box. Let's celebrate him. Let's thank you, IK. You guys should drop in the box, chat 111. Let's celebrate this superstar for all that he's doing. Let's encourage him to do more. Guys, I want to see the 111 coming in. If you want him to keep doing this, if you enjoy it, let the 111 keep coming in. So my name again is Shampipe Z, popularly known as the Forest Lady Boss. Xavier, if you're there, you can take it away.
All right. Good evening, man. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Trust we had a wonderful weekend. So today we'll be analyzing the dollar index, Euro USD, and of course gold, to see the potential movement of these prices this week. All right, I'll be sharing my screen shortly now, so get started. Hope you guys can see my screen. Hope you guys can see my screen. Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
We can hear you.
All right. So we're starting from the Monday time frame. If we want to get the bigger picture to see where price is coming from and where price is going to, we need to start that from the higher time frame. Because the higher time frame shows us everything, gives us the whole information we need to know. So this is dollar index on the monthly time frame. You can clearly see that price have taken out this external range liquidity here. And clearly see that price have taken out this external range liquidity here. So we need to level that external range liquidity. So now I'm dropping down to the weekly time frame. Let's see the information the weekly time frame is going to give us. So we can clearly see this higher time frame key level is being taken out here. And this candle is just last week. So what happened? Looking at this candle high and this candle low, you can see that there is a gap here. There is a gap here. So price needs, after taking out this external range liquidity here, price needs to rebalance. And where does price rebalance? Price rebalances at the internal range liquidity, which is our fair value gap. So we have this here. We have this weekly fair value gap. Let this thing load up. Let's adjust to back today. So I'm looking at this place again and clearly see that we have another fair value gap here. So we have 2 points of interest. We have 2 points of interest on dollar index going into this week. So you're likely to see the continuation of this down movement from this fair value gap when price rebalances from this fair value gap. But this is not enough for us to determine the continuation of the market or if there will be a change in trend. So now drop down to the daily time frame. Let's see the information we're going to get from the daily time frame. So looking at this daily time frame now, we have this gap here. We have this fair value gap, weekly fair value gap, and also I have breakout block. I have this breakout block here. So I'm expecting price to drop down into before coming for this weekly fair value gap, or let's say it's now a daily fair value gap because we have the daily fair value gap here before we continue to drop. Breakout. Okay, so dropping down to 4-hour time frame. 4-hour time frame will leave us with a whole lot of information. Now, starting from this place, we can clearly see that when price took out this external range liquidity here, when price took out this external range liquidity, we have these stop points here. We have these stop points here, and we have this block, this other block here that price reacted from before we have this up movement here. So now instead of price to come fill up this gap here, instead of price to come fill up this gap, price played this stop point. Price played this stop point, or let's say total soup long. Price gave us this total soup long. Now we have that continuation into the upside. You see how price respected these zones. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now we can see how price respected these zones. So what I'm expecting to see this week now is for price to drop deep into this hour breaker, which is also, we have a gap there, giving us a confirmation. Now, why? Because price have broken structure to the upside, taking out this external range liquidity here. And where should price come for next? This internal range liquidity, which is this 4-hour fair value gap. To level. Which is this 4-hour fair value gap, before we eventually go into this, our daily draw on liquidity. So this is our DOL here. To see a continuation of this down movement, to take out this, going back to the monthly time frame, to finally take out this sell stop liquidity here. So you see how we're able to get this move from the monthly. We got the bigger picture from the monthly, then down to the weekly, to see how price is reacting from the weekly time frame. And we have a fair value gap, and all the way down to the daily time frame. Here we have our breakout block, price respecting the other block, continuing the up movement. Now dropping down to the 4-hour time frame. Dropping down to the 4-hour time frame, where we want to see a continuation of this buy movement, reacting of this internal range liquidity here to continue. Now, last week, I know that most of the people, some people will be trapped. What happened here? Because we have this fair value gap here. Some people will be trapped. I actually marked it before. I think, okay, that of Euro USD will still be there. Will be trapped because of this fair value gap. Now, the reason why this fair value gap won't hold prices, look at price took out this external range liquidity here. Price took out this external range liquidity here. So price needs to go up, rebalance the weekly fair value gap before we see a continuation of this down movement to come and take out this monthly low, to come and take out this low. So I always tell you people that price does one thing. Price moves from one liquidity level to another. So price moves from external range liquidity to internal range liquidity, and from internal range liquidity back to external range liquidity. That is basically how price moves. Okay, so let's jump on Euro USD and see what we are going to get from Euro USD. Okay. Now, this is that trap I'm talking about. This is that trap I'm talking about, this block now. Now, people will expect price, this BC here or this bullish fair value gap to hold price. You can see I boldly wrote trap because this zone is going to trap a whole lot of people after taking out this external range liquidity. So let's go back to the monthly time frame and see what we are going to get from the monthly time frame. Remove all drawings. Now, looking at the monthly fair value gap, this monthly gap here is really, really a strong one after so many months of struggle. After so many months of struggle, still held price to the upside. Yeah. Now we have this external range liquidity here, which price have taken out. Which price I've taken out, and we have this only external as well. Right? So external range liquidity taken out. Where should price head next? Price will come for the internal range liquidity, which is rebalancing. So where can we get this fair value gap? Let's check the weekly time frame. Let's check the weekly time frame. Now, looking at the weekly time frame, you can clearly see that this previous week high and this previous week low does not overlap. This high and this low does not overlap. Now, what I mean by overlap is the two of them are not together. Just like, look at what happened here. You see this candle low and this candle high. Look at, there is no gap in between them. Same thing here, there is no gap in between them. Now look at this candle, this black candle, the low and the high of this black candle. You can clearly see there is a gap which price came back and rebalanced before we saw this, this drop. So that's the same thing here. So we have this candle one high and this candle three low does not overlap. This candle one high does not overlap with this candle three low. So which means we have this weekly fair value gap here. Hey guys, with me? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay.
I hear you.
Okay.
Well, with you, sir.
All right. So what else can I see here again? I have this other block here. This other block. So we have, just like the DXY, we have 2 points of interest going into this week. I have 2 points of interest going into this week on Euro USD. So let's drop down to maritime frame key into maritime frame key level. Okay. All right, good. So let's drop down to the daily time frame and see what we're going to get from the daily time frame. So looking closely at this daily time frame, we can clearly see the daily fair value gap here. You can clearly see a daily fair value gap here. So what else? We have this high time frame key level being taken out, and I have a breaker block. I have this breaker block, and let's call this a daily fair value gap. I have this daily fair value gap, right? Now I'm expecting price to drop down into this daily fair value gap before coming up for this breaker. Well, if price should come back to this breaker first, then our drawn liquidity should be this daily fair value gap. But if price should come to this daily fair value gap first, our drawn liquidity should be this breaker low, right? So let's drop to the 4-hour time frame. Now, looking at the 4-hour time frame, you can clearly see that we have an internal range liquidity on the 4 hours. have an internal range liquidity on the 4 hours, which is this. Has this 4-hour fair value gap. So what I'm expecting to see, when market opens is a drop into this daily fair value gap. Will give us a lower time frame confirmation. Then we go for this internal range liquidity, which is our breaker, our 4-hour fair value gap. This is inside the breaker block. This is inside our daily breaker block. So if by any means that this 4-hour fair value gap, this daily fair value gap doesn't hold price, that means we'll be looking out for price to come back to this other block here. So this weekly order block. Price to come back to this weekly order block here. Well, I don't see any reason price coming back to this weekly order block because this order block has been mitigated. You can see this candle. This order block has been mitigated. So I don't see any reason why price should come back to this order block here. Now, the whole continuation of the trend is for price to react to this daily fair value gap. So this daily fair value gap or this weekly fair value gap is our best point. Is our best point. So I'll be looking out for the confirmation tomorrow around this zone. Okay. Now let's quickly look at GBP USD. Let's quickly look at GBP USD. I have to remove all drawing. Just hope you can still see my screen. Can you guys see
Yes,
me?
we can.
Okay. Okay. So now looking at the weekly time frame on GBP USD. Looking at the weekly time frame on GBP USD, we have this buy stop liquidity here, which is our external range liquidity or a higher time frame key level being taken out. Before this week closed. I marked this fair value gap. I marked this fair value gap. We hope that last week we'll come back to mitigate this fair value gap, but that didn't happen. But that didn't happen. So price created a fair value gap, which is aligning perfectly well with order block, our weekly order block. So this weekly fair value gap, and we have our order block. So there is high tendency that this fair value gap is going to hold price to see a continuation to the upside. High tendency that this is going to hold price to see a continuation to the upside. Now looking at what happened here from this place, see price kept on respecting all the zones. The higher the time frame, the stronger the zone. The higher the time frame, the stronger the zone. This other block was respected. This gap too, respected. And we have these two, respected. So I need to delete this. My best bet is for price to respect this weekly fair value gap, to continue the up movement until we have this external range here being taken out. We have this external range here being taken out. All right. Yeah, the network is really, really bad. Really, really bad. So dropping down to the daily time frame, let's see the information that GBP USD has for us on the daily time frame. on the daily time frame. So we're only interested in what is going to happen around the zone. We're only interested in what is going to happen around the zone. We have this weekly fair value gap, and we also have this weekly order block here. So what can I see around this place? Looking at this place now, what can I see? This bullish, bearish order block. I have this bearish order block. This price have tested, right? And now, same thing that happened on Euro USD happened here. This trap was violated. This trap was violated. So what else can I see? I have this daily fair value gap here. I have this daily fair value gap. So as market is opening around 10 p.m., I actually see a push-up back into this other block. I see a push-up back into this other block. How is this thing like this? And you can see a continuation of the buys. And see a continuation of the buys. Now, looking at the 4-hour time frame, let's see if we are on the same page from the 4-hour time frame. You can clearly see that we have a nice draw on liquidity here. Nice draw on liquidity. Price coming back into this daily order block. And also, we actually have a breaker here as well. So price coming back to it should drop. Same thing we saw on Euro USD. That's the same thing playing out here on GBP USD. You can see the breaker. You can see the breaker block. So this is what I'm expecting on GBP USD this coming week. What I'm expecting on GBP USD this coming week. So let's quickly look at gold. Let's quickly look at gold and see what gold has for us. XAUSD. It's still the same thing. So I just have to go over it again. So you guys will understand what I did there. This is gold charts on a weekly time frame. This is gold on a weekly time frame, right? We have this external range liquidity here, which price is yet to take out. Which price is yet to take out. So zooming closely, I can see that this candle 1 high does not overlap with this candle 3 low. So which means we have a gap here. Okay. Which means we have a gap, expecting price to drop down into this weekly fair value gap to continue the up movement to take out this external range liquidity. Or if price should take out this external range liquidity first, we'll look to sell down into this draw on liquidity, this weekly draw on liquidity here. So dropping down to the daily time frame. Let's see the information we get from the daily time frame. Looking at the daily time frame, everything looks nice. Yeah, this external range liquidity yet to be taken out, so we have a fresh draw on liquidity here, which we're expecting. Either ways for price is either price takes out this external range liquidity, then our draw should be this internal range liquidity. our price comes for this internal range liquidity, then our draw should be this external range liquidity. Okay, now I'm dropping to the 4-hour time frame. Dropping to the 4-hour time frame. Now, I have, and the truth is, last week, I was trapped in this gold. I was trapped in this gold last week after I caught the first drop. I was thinking that the drop will continue, but price later came back, took me out on break even. And I saw, I think should be this candle, I think in 30 minutes when price took out this high. So I sold here. Now price coming back again, took me out on break even again. So I just calmed down. Now looking at what happened here, we have this sell stop here, which price already took out. They accumulated a whole lot of liquidity here. So we have this 4-hour internal range liquidity. I have this 4-hour fair value gap. Where should be our drawn liquidity? There should be our drawn liquidity. Our drawn liquidity should be this weekly fair value gap and also this sell stop liquidity here. Also this sell stop liquidity. So I want to see price come into this 4-hour fair value gap, continue the down movement until this place. So this is what I'm expecting on the gold. So whenever price drops into this 4-hour, if in the next couple of hours now, market is going to open. So if price drops into this 4-hour fair value gap, I'm dropping down to 15 minutes time frame. Dropping down to 15 minutes time frame to look for a lower time frame liquidity grab, a shift to the downside. Then my drawn liquidity or my target should be this low here.